Are you afraid of dying? If so, why? I think I'd just be disappointed. My life has gotten to a place I enjoy. After struggling for a long time. It would suck to die after all the hard work. My best friend had a near-death experience the other day. The day after we chilled and he told me that little accident made him realize he actually is scared of death because there's so much he still needs to do. Seem to be going against the majority here. But yes. What freaks me out is when I think about what comes next and the possibility, or likelihood, of it just being a black nothingness and your life is done. Although I won't feel anything or miss anything, similar to before I was born, the thought still really scares me when I think a lot about it. I was recently diagnosed with cancer and that made me afraid. Funny thing is I never thought I would be, but now I am. I'm mostly afraid of not being able to experience things in my life that I would want to experience, like marry my so. Buy our first home. Go to vacation. Etc. I'm also afraid what my death would do to my partner and parents. And of course I'm afraid of pain and dying alone in some hospital. So yeah. Let's hope I will recover and not have to think about this for another 50-ish years. Yeah. I'm pretty young. That's the way to word this question. Yes, I am. I'm not scared of being dead, but I'm very scared of becoming dead. I'm even more scared of nearly dying but surviving with a fucked up brain or something. I wasn't, but now I am because I have more to lose. Not really. I'm more afraid of how I die. I hope I die at age 100 in my bed and not murdered by some bored psychopath. While I am not afraid of death, I would say that I am afraid of dying. Mostly because of natural survival instincts. Not really. But I am afraid of painful death. So hopefully it's painless when it happens. I hated my life before. I tried killing myself. I failed. So now I'm such a scared cat because I love my life and the people I surround myself with. I don't want that to end. I'm grateful for my survival. Natural instinct and probably the uncertainty of it all. I know when you're dead. You stop existing and you no longer think, feel, do anything, but at the same time it just seems so unreal to me. I'll never be able to experience anything truly from another perspective, so how can my point of view just cease to be one day? Logically, it will happen. But mentally I can't wrap my mind around the fact that I will die and there will be nothing. That I'll experience nothing else and not even be aware of it. I am. Because if there is no place you go to after, then I just stop existing. I will not be in nothingness. I will not be in black. My thoughts will just stop existing. I will never do anything ever again. I am okay with the idea of dying. It doesn't scare me, but I do worry about the impact it would have on my family. Edit. I'm glad to see others agree. I know many people who don't believe me when I say it, so I'm happy to read all your thoughts. Thank you for the awards too. Strangers. I am. Because I don't know what will happen after. I am. Because I am 31 and I am waiting for almost 10 years to finally start the life I want. But can't due to financial reasons and depression. I just want to live a good life, and I am afraid that I wasted too much time and that it will be too late for me to finally be happy. The only part of dying I'm scared of is being forgotten. I'm really scared of being just lost. My life not really amounting to any legacy. Actually no. Thinking about it as I write. I'm scared of the slow dying that my family seems to suffer with. Dementia runs through one side. Parkinson's the other. So maybe I'll forget why I'm shaking. I'd hate to see my family watch that. No. Because I believe in a positive afterlife by accepting Jesus. Note. I just wanted to give my honest answer to Op. I don't want to discuss my personal views. Feel free to give downvotes if you have the urge to express your disgust towards my personal beliefs. I think one of the major things that scare me about dying is the concept of eternity. I mean, when you die, you're dead forever. And it scares me not to know how that feels like. How does it feel like not to be alive? Forever? IDK. It's kind of an oxymoron situation. Because being dead doesn't feel like anything. Since your capacity to feel is gone. That's also probably part of the fear factor. The uncertainty and the not knowing part of what being dead feels like really gets me. I don't like not knowing things. If I die, I can't listen to songs. Death. No. Dying. Yes. I just want it to be instant when it comes. I don't want the trauma. Suffering. Sadness. I am not frightened of dying. Any time will do. I don't mind. Why should I be frightened of dying? There's no reason for it. You've gotta go sometime. I think the only reason we fear death is because we do not understand it nor what happens after. It's like how we aren't scared of the dark. Rather, what's in it. Not knowing is probably one of our greatest fears. And I think that's why almost every religion has an afterlife, in an attempt to get rid of said uncertainty. I'm still waiting for Half-Life 3. I've died 3 times in the course of a traumatic brain injury. It's frightening. It hurts. My God, it hurts. I was bleeding in the brain in 2 places, frontal and anterior lobes. My breathing shut down. Panic. Complete and utter panic. I was fighting the paramedics. They had to strap me down. They intubated me, which is another whole level of panic for a lifelong asthmatic. They were bagging me and then my heart went into fibrillation. And then the pain. Oh my God, the pain. Everywhere. Every single nerve was screaming like I was on fire. And then they defibrillated me. I've been shocked a number of times, clumsy electrical engineer. But this was like nothing I've ever felt. It was like sucking on a high voltage line. My whole body lit up and my eyes saw sparks. And then they did it again. I tasted blood, mind, and copper and smelled fire. And then, whop. Like hitting a black wall, I was gone. Totally gone. And from the records they worked on me for a couple of minutes and got me going again. AED only. Fortunately, because cracked sternum and ribs from CPR really sucks. Then repeat in a hospital Then a helicopter to the level 1 trauma center. Then repeat in the trauma center Then coma for 4 days. Then surgery, and I woke up a day or so later wondering WTF. And #X200B. I don't like pain. I've experienced it. I know dying all the way will hurt like hell. I fear the pain. And #X200B. What comes after? I have no idea. As far as I know. Nothing. But there won't be that level of pain again. And #X200B. All I can say is, try not to get concussions, brain injuries when you're a kid. My simple fall on ice would probably not have done me in if I hadn't been a wild one as a kid. And gotten 9 concussions before I was in my 20s. Wear a freaking helmet. I'm afraid of leaving my life behind. What if I die young and leave my daughter? My husband and this life I created behind? My husband will probably remarry. My daughter will be too young to remember me. I won't get to see her grow up, and I won't get the chance to have a second child. Since my mom was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago, I have horrible health anxiety. Sometimes I will think that when I die my brain will continue to function and I will be floating in a void with my thoughts for an infinite amount of time. This is of course illogical, but I guess I sometimes think about this because my brain can't fathom a life without it. I then remind myself that that is fucking stupid, but this idea often pops back into my mind from time to time. I am. Because I don't want my kid to grow up without his father. No. My wife died from leukemia in my arms. I've seen death and I won't live in fear of it. I'm trying to fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yes, because I have a great life and I don't like to lose it now. No. Billions of creatures die every day and nature has something figured out for us. I'm afraid of dying since I don't believe in religion or reincarnation. The thought of simply not existing ever again scares me. I've been afraid of dying since I was a toddler. The idea of no longer existing fills me with a deep, aching hollowness in my chest. It's the loss of absolutely everything. And it's completely inevitable and permanent. It's such a fundamental fear for me that I find it very difficult to comprehend that some people are not and have never been afraid of it. If you stripped away all that I was as a person, piece by piece, it would be one of the last things to go. Similarly, I find most people's attitudes towards the deaths of others bizarre as well. We tend to feel sorry for the family and ourselves. But the person that died just got wiped from existence. Their beautiful, complex, feeling brain has shut down. And we're sad because of how that impacts us. Also, death is rarely peaceful. So I live with the knowledge that my last precious moments of existence are probably going to be in agony and fear. That's a fun bonus. I'm afraid of dying because I believe I haven't been good enough. I am very afraid of dying to the point of random panic attacks. I think it's mostly the thought that at any point my consciousness could just stop existing. Life just seems so fragile. I'm terrified of dying. It sends me into really worrying panic attacks. I've spent many nights of many weeks trying to figure out why I have such a fear. I've come up with no answers. But every time I think about it I become more scared. I am afraid of dying too soon. Especially if we only have one life. I'm only 16 so I haven't really done anything like traveling, meeting someone etc. so I'm afraid to die now. Hopefully I won't be at the age of 80 because I've already done everything I wanted to do. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.